Hello everyone, Jem here, back with another video. Today I'll be going over another one of my favorite commander decks. This deck is Dimir, again, because I have a type. You can call it Dimir, Blue-Black, UB, whatever you want to call it. Speaking of UB, Universes Beyond, smooth transition there, I know. Today's commander is the Cyber Controller. So the Cyber Controller is a 3/3 legendary artifact creature Cyberman for X, blue, blue, and black. And it has, when the Cyber Controller enters the battlefield, each opponent mills X cards, where X is the amount of mana you paid. Put all creature cards milled this way onto the battlefield face down under your control. There are 2/2 Cyberman artifact creatures. And also has other artifact creatures you can look at +1/+1. So, to really get into what this deck does, I have to explain a little concept that I call Commander as a sorcery. And I'm not talking about like the Strixhaven cards that are literally sorceries on the backside. I mean playing your commander as if it weren't a permanent on your battlefield. This is because the Cyber Controller is underwhelming on the battlefield. What we really want is his ETB trigger. But we can't do that through flickering, because then X would be 0 and he would do nothing. So, instead what we do is we bounce him back to our hands to cast him over and over. This is achieved through the use of unconventional cards, like Esperzoa and Trusted Advisor, both of which can bounce the Cyber Controller back to our hand at the beginning of each of our upkeeps, so we can recast him every turn. If those aren't available, we can also use spells like Alchemist Revival, Unsummon, and Fading Hope to put the Cyber Controller back into our hand at instant speed. Run Away Together can also do double duty, putting the Cyber Controller and one of our opponent's creatures back into their hands. Now that the Cyber Controller is back in our hand, we need a way to cast him over and over for increasing amounts of mana. This can be done easily with Blink Mothern or Karn Legacy Reforged, both of which scale as we make more and more Cybermen. Another useful card in this regard is Elementalist Palette, a card usually seen in X-Spell decks, which works fantastically here, since our commander has an X in its mana cost. One of the all-star cards for mana production, though, is Tezzeret Master of the Bridge, which gives the Cyber Controller affinity for artifacts, which is nuts and insane, and should not be allowed, but it is, so we're doing it. Tezzeret's +2 can also be in win con in the right situations, making him effective at all stages of the game. Now that you've seen all this, you probably think you know what I'm going to say next. This is a mill deck, we win through mill. If you were thinking that, you would be wrong, and you get nothing. This is, in fact, a artifact swarm deck, where the goal is to make as many Cybermen as possible and kill our opponents to death with them. Let's go over everything that our 2/2 Cybermen are, and how that can be used to our advantage. Cybermen are non-token, face-down creatures with the creature type Cyberman that are artifacts and colorless and permanents that we control but do not own. The fact that they are non-token means that they draw us cards with Canoptic Spider. The fact that they are face down means we can turn them face up with Atrada Deadly Fugitive or Ugin's Mastery, surprising our opponents with a sudden burst of strength by turning one of their own creatures face up against them. The fact that they have a creature type, Cyberman, which face-down creatures normally do not have, means that we can draw cards off of Kindred Discovery if we name Cyberman, and make them bigger every time we cast our commander with Door of Destinies. The fact that they are artifacts protects them from board wipes, like Their Name is Death. And the fact that they're colorless means they're protected from board wipes like All is Dust, even though I don't run that because I don't own one. And, finally, since they're permanents we control but do not own, we can draw lots and lots of cards off of Staff of Eden Vault's Key, a new card from Assassin's Creed, which I think is pretty sweet. However, we only get these buffs if our opponents are playing a lot of creatures. In the event that they aren't, and we can't assemble our Cyberman army, we do have a few backup plans. Although we are not mainly a mill deck, we do mill a lot, We can increase that mill with cards like Bruvac the Grandiloquent. And since our commander is an X-spell that mills, we can just make infinite mana with Basalt Monolith and our choice of Forensic Gadgeteer or Forsaken Monument, and mill our opponents out in one swoop. Sometimes we don't even need to mill them all the way out. Cards like Bloodchief Ascension will just kill them before they can even blink. And, finally, if all other options are exhausted, we can just spend all our mana on something else, like Torment of Hailfire. And that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you'll subscribe for more. New videos will be coming out every weekend, Saturday or Sunday, depending on how fast I manage to make and edit these videos. I try to put as much effort as possible into them, so I'm not rushing them, don't worry. And also, I have a Q&A in progress. You can go to the community tab, put a question in the comments of the latest community post. Well, actually, not the latest, the second latest community post, I think. You'll find it. I don't post much there. So yeah, thank you. I hope you subscribe for more, and have a great day.